Welcome to Vikings football with head coach Bruce Barnum. Portland State comes home this Saturday for the first time, coach, in a month and 3 days. The Vikings will play a home game. That's against the 15th ranked Northern Arizona Lumberjacks. Opening of Big Sky Conference play. That game Saturday, 2 p.m. Come on out to the game and take a look at the Vikings. You can also see it on ESPN. Plus, coach, let's talk about your team. You had a bye week. It's a good reset this time of year, heading into Big Sky Conference play. Your first conference game coming up. Talk a little bit about the last 10 days or so. Imagine you got a little rest. Hopefully a few nicked up guys got a little better. What's that process been for you?
The start of the Big Sky, Mike, and luckily it fell that we had a bye week. So from shuffling personnel to trying to shuffle them out of the training room, and a few extra days out here on the field to get ready for the Lumberjacks, our next opponent, Coach Wright. I liked it. I like how we're coming out of bye week right now. So anxious to get to Saturday to see an opponent, coaching staff we haven't seen before.
Well, we know how difficult the non-conference schedule was. Now we go into Big Sky play, and of course, Big Sky Conference play is just about equally hard. Is there any difference in terms of how you prepare now for league play? Any different approach?
We know who we have now. Quarterbacks. We went through a lot of quarterbacks. John's going to be the guy back there. We moved some guys around at certain positions. So between using it as an evaluation personnel period and paying the bills, now it's time. Now it's time to get something going.
Okay, you mentioned your quarterback, John Chiave Sagapoletele. He's your guy now. What, after you started three different quarterbacks in non-conference play, John got the last two, what was the difference that made you settle with him?
I like how he sees the field, Mike, as far as coverage. And if you give him a read 1 through 4, he gets through all 4. He's got the arm to deliver it. He didn't really know our package. He got here kind of late, and he's kind of a quiet personality. Right now, I think he's comfortable, after coming out of Hawaii and having a couple more weeks of practice. So anxious to see how he does in the Big Sky.
All right, we're going to take a look at him at home here this Saturday. Coach, let's talk about the defense for a minute. At Hawaii, you got a really outstanding defensive effort. Only allowed 2 touchdowns to that team. It was a loss, but fewest points allowed, fewest yards allowed. Several big plays, some sacks, 8 pass breakups. I think that kind of speaks to you. You were talking early in the year, you really liked your defensive backfield. They were out there making a few plays. Talk a little bit about how they've developed.
First off, kudos to the defensive staff. Again, and they're probably a week ahead. They evaluated what they had, and they put it together to put our student athletes in the right position, I think, for who we are to make plays. So hopefully continue that on. Because if we play like that, Saturdays will be brighter.
All right, let's talk a minute about Northern Arizona. The 15th ranked Lumberjacks coming in to Hillsborough Stadium on Saturday. The Vikings haven't played them in 2 years. The last 2 meetings, Portland State has won those games, but it's a different Lumberjack team now. As I said, ranked 15th in the nation. New head coach Brian Wright, who you have not faced up against. It's his second season. What have you learned about him, his coaching style, and how you're going to have to approach his team?
Well, first off, I vote now in the coaches poll.
So you voted him really high.
Well, Coach Wright, and to all the Lumberjack fans, team included, I voted you number 9 in the top 10. How you ended up 14? I can't control what I can't control, but I voted them 9 there, and they're a good football team. Mike, defense, they came in, they're a little chaotic. They're, the 7 across, the stuff that you used to do up at first time I saw it was in Washington a few moons ago, University of Washington. 7, are we zone, are we man, confusion, chaotic on defense.
So a lot of players at the line of scrimmage that the quarterback has to sort out.
Controlled chaos, always moving, but always ending up in their base coverages. So, and they're good. They're good up front. They have some players I really like. 40, I don't know names. Mike, 48, he's a hell of a football player. 70, they got some guys up front. They got guys in the back end. I like both their corners, their safeties. They go boundary field with them, you know, and they play a lot of people, which means they have depth. You know, most teams, when you get to depth, you know, you're like, okay. But then they're playing a lot of people through, and it's going to be interesting. They have a quarterback. Who's the only returner, I believe, in the Big Sky. And he's a tough kid. He does everything you want. He's playing really well. A couple receivers. You want me to talk about everything, right? A couple receivers, 11 and 13. They're on a roll, you know. That's your Lumberjacks.
Yeah, well, my next question was going to be about the quarterback, Ty Pennington. And yeah, don't check our math on this, but we think he might be like the only returning starter in the league coming back this year, although everybody's got an established guy now. And he's been playing great. I think Big Sky Player of the Week this past week, maybe the past 2 weeks, I think. Something like that. I need to read the press releases more closely. But
he's better than that Chad guy.
Okay. Well, what makes him special?
Chad or Ty?
Well, Ty's the guy we got to worry about, Coach.
Ty, I said, first off, he's tough. If you're tough at that position, it's a different animal, you know. He's not brittle at all. He sees the field. He does everything you want to do as a quarterback. And he's got tools to deliver the football. They're being successful because of him, but he has some good guys to work with as well. So he's a challenge of all the quarterbacks we've seen so far. We've seen, 4 now. I put him as the top guy we're going up against.
All right, there you have it, Coach. As we head into the game now, Saturday, Big Sky Conference play. It's a new season for everyone. What are going to be the keys for the Vikings to come away with a victory?
This one's easy, a little different for you. We're going to try to score more.
Okay.
Than we have,
Okay.
Mike, touchdowns have been like chasing the golden goose, but we have to get rhythm going on offense. I think we know who we are right now and be a little creative. We're playing some young guys because of some guys out for the season, but it is what it is. And now we've had 2 weeks in a game to get the young guys going. So as long as they don't make the same mistakes and we play hard, they're talented. But offense, there's your first one. Defense, I'd love for them to play last 2 weeks ago, Hawaii game, maybe a little better, maybe one more punt mixed in. Or a turnover, a pick. Shoot, I'll take a pick 6. That'd be better yet. But those two, and again, flashing back to the offense, we have to be better in the red zone. I think we're a pretty good football team offensively, between the 20s right now, but that'll get you a cup of coffee. We get to the red zone, and then we've worked on it a lot, bye week and this week. Once we get down there, we got to score.
All right, there you have it. The Vikings and the Lumberjacks this Saturday at Hillsborough Stadium. 2 p.m. kickoff. Come out and watch the Vikings play. You can also watch it on ESPN+. And if you're in town on Friday, come on out to the Old Spaghetti Factory for the Vikings football luncheon. At noon, you can hear from Coach Barnum and a couple of players as we get ready for this Saturday's game. For all your information on Vikings football, go to GoVikes.com.
We're gonna run. Let's go!